Hello and welcome to Findlay Designs. Today's video is on how I created this resin crushed glass and mirrored artwork for my main living area of my home. It's a very quick and simple way to brighten up any areas of your home where you don't get a lot of light. Myself, the centre of my house is where the main living room area is, and if it's a dull day, like we had a couple of dull days last week, there's not a lot of light and I have to put lights on in the main living area. So I decided that in order to bounce more light around the room, I needed to come up with a mirror design. And because I like to play around with resin and crushed glass and everything else, I thought I'd make my own design. So this is it. So it's like I say, it's a very quick and simple way to add light to your home. So without further ado, let's get on with how I created this piece. Okay, so for this piece I'm using an MDF board 1200 by 600mm wide and 9mm thick, and it's got 2 coats of primer plus a coat of metallic paint plus some extra silver spray paint to give it that extra sparkle. The reason being I want the silver to shine through the crushed glass on the clear bits of the glass. So first of all, I started off with quite a thin layer of resin. With hindsight, I should have just mixed the usual amount for the board and then put that on, and it will come evident later why I needed to do that, but in the meantime we'll carry on with this. So for the mirrors, I got them from a local discount store. I'm just removing the foam feet from the back because it's used as a table decoration, and basically all I'm doing now is just laying out the design, just playing around with it, and I'm just sliding it around in the resin until I've got the shape and desire that I'm after. And again, I've got smaller mirrors, so I think there's 4 sizes in all in this design, and I'll just move them around and position them where I think they look best. I also didn't want to fill the whole board with mirrors because I wanted the crushed glass to be part of the design element as well. So just giving the bubbles a little bit of a zap before we go on to the crushed glass. And I initially started off just using a spoon to add the glass, but then after a while I ended up just started tipping it straight from the tub and then just moved around and brushed any off the mirrors that landed on there. And there's not much to this design really, it's just, like I say, it's just mirrors and crushed glass. So you can get all sorts of different layouts and positions of the mirrors to suit yourself. But yeah, so it is quite effective. All up I used 3 tubs of the crushed glass from IKEA, and each tub is 700 grams or 1.54 pounds. So there's quite a lot of glass on there. Now what I'd done here was I'd realised that I didn't pour a thick enough layer of resin, so the glass that was sitting on the top was not actually sitting in the resin, so I've since had to pour some extra resin around, and it did migrate onto some of the mirrors. So if I'd poured the resin the right thickness to start off with, I would not have had the resin creeping onto the mirrors. But not to worry, I do fix that later on, and my next projects I'll bear that in mind when I come to use mirrors. So what I'm doing here now is I've sprayed some gold spray paint into a cup, and I'm just using a stick to highlight the around the edges of the mirrors to just give it a bit of added interest. I felt that the design was a bit lacking and didn't have the wow factor that I often strive to try and achieve. Don't always achieve it, but I do try. And I didn't want to add a lot of colour, so I felt that gold would work very well with the silver. And as you'll see at the end, it does actually work very well, and I'm very pleased with the results. So that's been left to cure overnight, and now I'm just going to tidy up the resin from the mirrors. Now apologies for the glare of the mirror on the camera. I'd not realised when I'd set it up that it was going to be such a glare, because on the viewfinder it didn't look that bad, so apologies for that. But all I'm doing here is I'm just using a sharp knife to trim the excess resin off, and then I'm going to use just a sharp blade to clean up any other resin that's migrated onto the mirrors. It's a bit tedious doing this, but if I'd poured the resin correctly in the first place, I would not have had this major clean up afterwards. So you can learn by my mistakes. And that's the beauty of me doing this and doing experiments and showing you. At least I can show you then where I went wrong, so to help you with your project. And now I'm just using alcohol to clean the glass and just give the mirrors a nice clean. So for the back of this, because it was only 9mm thick, I've actually added a frame to the back to give it added strength and stop it warping. And all I'm doing now is just attaching some D-rings so that I can attach it to the wall. Now as you can see here, the frame and where the D-rings are, so that they're going to attach direct to the wall like that. But the beauty of doing it this way, it actually lies flush with the wall, so you get what looks like a floating mirror on your wall, and it's really quite effective. So this is the before image of my main living area. That artwork you see on the wall, that was a piece that I've had up for several years that I made out of foil, and that actually did work quite well to bounce light, but like I say, I wanted to bounce even more light and came up with a mirror, and as you can see, this is bouncing a lot of light from the window behind me. So for such a simple design, it's actually very, very effective. See the camera in the background there. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video and it's given you inspiration to create your own mirror crushed glass resin piece. I have another one on the go at the moment which incorporates colours, and this one will be uploaded very soon, so keep your eye out for that one. And as always, a list of the products used will be found in the description below. If you'd like to see more of my creations and how my brain works, then please subscribe to my channel, and I will be back again soon with some more tips and tricks on how I work with resin. Okay, thanks. See you soon.